Lady C has finally ripped the mask off the billionaire Meghan has already handpicked to replace Harry, and the cold calculation behind it is more ruthless than anyone dared say out loud until now. And sitting right there listening to him say it is the woman who wrote Prince Harry's biography. She spent 2 years with the man. She still likes him from everything she has ever written about him, and she does not argue with a single word of it. What she says instead is worse.
Harry just can't give her anything else anymore. He served his purpose. His purpose is over, and they're no longer aligned in purpose. So for her, it's time to move on.
And sitting right there listening to him say it is the woman who wrote Prince Harry's biography. She spent 2 years with the man. She still likes him from everything she has ever written about him, and she does not argue with a single word of it. What she says instead is worse. Meghan has been chasing very rich men for a long time now. Angela Levin says she does not know if they are not interested in Meghan or if Meghan has not fancied them, but she is still hanging on to Harry, and here's the reason given. She cannot find the right person. I think what she's been after, people. Read that again. Not still in love with him, still hanging on. The right one has not turned up yet. Diana's butler had already said it out loud on television. Paul Burrell worked for that woman for 10 years, so he knows how these people behave once the door's shut. It will not be enough for Meghan. She will go off. Her next step is a billionaire.
Obviously, she can say, well, look, I'm needing professional investment or all of that type of thing. But Burrell's suggestion and your suggestion seems to be also if something romantic presented itself.
She will take her royal kids, who can still go by prince and princess, and find the billionaire, like you say, who actually will just keep her in the manner to which she like to become accustomed.
Meghan has been chasing very rich men for a long time now. Angela Levin says she does not know if they are not interested in Meghan or if Meghan has not fancied them, but she is still hanging on to Harry, and here's the reason given. She cannot find the right person. I think what she's been after, people. Read that again. Not still in love with him, still hanging on.
She doesn't want a pauper. She doesn't want another pauper Angela like Harry. That he's not rich enough for her, okay?
It gets trickier because these billionaires can sense one thing. When you're not looking for a partner, you're looking for a solution.
The right one has not turned up yet. Diana's butler had already said it out loud on television. Paul Burrell worked for that woman for 10 years, so he knows how these people behave once the door's shut. It will not be enough for Meghan. She will go off. Her next step is a billionaire. Then a royal correspondent put the knife in on the same program. Meghan is always thinking about what comes next. She always has a plan, and that plan, in his words, includes her man. Her husband is an item on a to-do list. Now, why this year? Look at what she's married to in 2026. Somebody asked Harry on a podcast what he does for a living. He could not answer. He mumbled something about being a duke, then something about being a prince of England, then stopped. 41 years old. He took $50,000 to speak at a property conference. When the pair of them first landed in California, he was worth $1 million in appearance. That is the drop. And the family, the king, does not want him back, nor does the queen. William and Catherine will not have him either. Harry came from this very busy world of the royal family with lots to do. Even in his spare time, he could play polo and do whatever he wanted. He sat in Montecito twiddling his thumbs thinking, what do I do next? What is my role? Where is my work? Ingrid Seward has edited a magazine about this lot for 40 years, and she summed his job up in one sentence. Meghan has got to hang on to Harry, she said, for he is her entree. What is she otherwise but a starlet? That was said years ago. The entree, as things stand today, has been eaten. She bought a prince. She is left with a man who cannot say what his job is. Good grief. What do you think a woman like that does next?
I think she's been after people who are extraordinarily rich for quite a long time now. And I don't know whether they're not interested in her or she hasn't fancied them, but she's still hanging on to Harry because she can't find the right person.
Then a royal correspondent put the knife in on the same program. Meghan is always thinking about what comes next. She always has a plan, and that plan, in his words, includes her man. Her husband is an item on a to-do list. Now, why this year? Look at what she's married to in 2026. Somebody asked Harry on a podcast what he does for a living. He could not answer. He mumbled something about being a duke, then something about being a prince of England, then stopped. 41 years old. And that ridiculous story about how they first met. The whole thing was a tissue of inaccuracies, to be polite. Because of course I got the real story that he got a blind date and was called up and all. And this is the other thing, which is one of the many, many lies she tells, that she arrived in London full career single girl wasn't. interested. Of course, she'd been coming to London since 2013 hunting for a man to marry. She wanted an Englishman. She was on a manna. This year, somebody took the ladder away. Start with the Met Gala, the biggest night in fashion, the one room every woman in her business wants to be photographed in. Meghan was not invited, not seated at the back, not put on a side table by the kitchens, not there at all. I mean, she doesn't care about her reputation, does she? Or does she think that the Duchess of Sussex title can take on anything and nothing's going to happen to it? That title is already devalued, depreciated, and valued completely. How embarrassing. And no, Meghan Markle doesn't have a model body. Anna Wintour runs that night, and Anna Wintour does not want her. That is one bridge burn, and it stings, that one. Ingrid Seward explained exactly why on air. Meghan needs the kudos of being seen there. It would up her rate. Up her rate. A magazine editor talking about a duchess in the language of a booking agent. You think this is a big victory and that somehow all of the stories which are factual, which is that Netflix has dumped because was never is the worst lifestyle brand in the history of lifestyle brands, because what was that show called? I can't even remember. With Love Meghan. With Love Meghan was the worst piece of lifestyle TV programming in the history of lifestyle TV programming. And the fact that they even unfollowed you, Ted included, on social media. The reason is simple enough. Everything that woman wears on a walkabout is for sale by tea time. And the only thing shifting any of it is the two words in front of her name. Now the second one, and you are going to enjoy this, they are not friends with Miss Markle at all. The friendship is between Meghan and their mother. They're not going to be at the Grammys. They're not going to be at the Oscars. They're not going to be at private parties. Because when anything goes wrong, whenever there's a little bit of a conversation to have, these two lash out and blame. The Met Gala is sponsored these days by Jeff and Lauren Bezos. And Lauren Sanchez Bezos tried to be Meghan's friend years ago. Back when nobody was refusing that woman anything, kept inviting her to things. Meghan snubbed her, and Meghan was reported to have called the woman trashy. Trashy. The wife of the richest man alive. It's just so wrong to do what she's doing. She has nothing to stand on her own. You know, she doesn't have her own talent, her own way of just making it herself. I mean, my goodness, you married the prince, okay? Can you just try to do something on your own now? And now you're just, going into the family, his dead mother now? This is so bad. I can't understand why Harry hasn't already made a move by now, because it's only going to get worse from here. It gets worse. People do not forget a thing like that. And Lauren stepped back and left her to it. So the woman who was supposedly out hunting billionaires has insulted the one billionaire's wife who was holding the door open for her. You couldn't make it up. Then the Kardashians, who fell out with the pair of them last year over Kris Jenner's 70th. Elton John and David Furnish, close as anything, once gone cold. The Obamas, the Clooneys, and Oprah Gwyneth Paltrow. This couple pick up and then they lose them. And the reason given on air is brutal. Your dad is dying and you're putting broccoli dip or whatever the rubbish that is. There's the priorities of this woman. What's wrong with her? Those celebrities never needed her. The minute she irritates them, they drop her as nobody wants a photograph of themselves standing next to a woman that unpopular. Want the proof? Her own Netflix series. A full production, a huge budget, and not one household name came through that kitchen door. No Elton, not one Obama. No Clooney's, and not even Serena. The biggest name she could get was Chrissy Teigen. So look at where she really is. I have no sympathy. Yes, she should give up. She should give up because she sold the world a pup. None of us buy into what she is selling. And also, she's just really goddamn terrible at it. Meetings with billionaires in Los Angeles and not a billionaire's wife in America will take her call. She never misses a chance to make a connection. As Lady C puts it, there is a moment from Jamaica years back where she walked up to a group of complete strangers at a private club and introduced herself. Meghan, when she was in Jamaica, for instance, with Harry, they were followed around by a camera crew. I know this because friends of mine saw them at trial and actually phoned me up in public. They had no idea who she was. They rang a friend of Lady C's afterwards, completely baffled. Say, you never believe who just said hello to me. I said, who? Oh, Meghan, who on earth was that? Very rich people were standing there. That was the whole of the reason. Not at a summit, not at a gala, on holiday, in the sunshine with her boyfriend. I said, do you know her? No, she said. She just came up to us because, she thought, oh, we're at trial and we're with very rich grand people. So she never misses an opportunity to make a connection. Do you think that potentially Meghan is starting to realize Harry is not all that and she's going to have to go her own way and pursue a sort of Jeff Bezos type of character for the dreams that she wants to live, because we know she doesn't want to step foot in Britain again? And I know know that she has, but I don't know if she'll be stepping foot in London anytime soon. Well, I think you're spot on in her terms of her ambition, but not, I don't think, with due respect. She's known for a very long time that Harry didn't have the money that she would have liked him to have. Before anybody starts feeling sorry for the man stop. He was not a lamb walked to slaughter. He was a grown man with a title, an inheritance, and his pick of the country. And he knew what he was buying. That is not me being hard on him. It is Lady C.